it's your girl Cordnie and Ellese. Welcome to my channel on mommyhood and entrepreneurship. And today we are going to talk about how you and I can be 1 month ahead of our goals, our businesses, life. And this, you guys, is just going to help you to just not always be running behind. For me, I always feel as though I am running behind. And in the last couple of months, I had to try some different things, you guys, so that my business, my home life, my mind just wouldn't suffer. So these are the things that I have learned in the past few months about how you and I can be 1 month ahead in our business as mommies in our lives, you guys. So let's go on and rock it out. First things first, my daughter is outside with my assistant. So if you do hear any, noises in the background, I apologize ahead of time. My son is not here because there is fall break for their virtual school. So that is good. And also I do have my laptop right here in front of me. So let's go on and get into the video. The first thing is that you need to know what your overall goals. You need to separate these overall goals into smaller tasks. So if you know that your overall goals for that month is that you need more clients. Okay, well, I need to market. Okay, well, how am I going to market? I'm going to do social media. Okay, how am I going to do social media? I'm going to engage. Okay, how am I going to engage? I'm going to go on stories and I'm going to like a lot of people's posts, or I'm going to go into people's posts and like a bunch of them and then comment. However you're going to do it, you need to make sure that you know what your goal is, and then you break it down into smaller and then even smaller and then even smaller until you get it to the very specific thing that you have to do. Tip 2 is you need to know what your consistent and inconsistent plans are. So something you do regularly versus something that you would do case by case. So for me, I'm a photographer and a makeup artist. I know that regularly I am editing photos. That is an everyday thing, an every week thing. It doesn't stop if I go on vacation. That is something that I have to have in my schedule on a regular and consistent basis. However, I do not go to the gas station every single day, but I do generally do that every week. So I know that every day I need to make sure that I block out time for editing, and every week I need to block out, or every 2 weeks now, since you can't really go a lot of places with the whole, quarantine and coronavirus and all that. But, every week or every so often, I know that I'm going to need gas. So I'm going to definitely block out time for this specific time for gas and block out time every single day for editing. So you have to know what your inconsistent and your consistent tasks are. Do you go to church every Sunday? Do you play, something, during this particular time? Do you spend time with your family every other week on this particular day to make sure that you get in that family time? Do you get your hair done this specific week? Does your kids have, tasks and things that they have to do, or school that is consistent every day? What are the certain things that you can make consistent plans of and go on and block those out in your calendar so that you can put all the inconsistent, the doctor's appointments, the random client meetings, the random tasks that you have to do into your schedule appropriately. All right, 3, you need to prioritize your plan for the next month before that month actually begins versus waiting until it starts. So a lot of times the reason that we're running behind is because we wait until the last minute. But if you start thinking about the next month earlier on, doing the budget, doing the planning, any vacations, any birthdays, all of your business plans, your goals and things like that, if you do that way ahead of time, then when that month comes, you'll definitely be ahead for that. Tip 4, you need to have a running appointment calendar. So you need to keep it current, you need to fill it in immediately, and you need to make sure that your team schedule and your family schedule is aligned with yours so that you don't have any issues as far as that's concerned. 5, you need to sync, and this is a piggyback off the last tip, but you need to sync your family, your birthday, and your anniversary calendar with your calendar so that there are no surprises. Go on and put it in your Google and your iPhone calendar. Make sure that those calendars are synced, and then that way every year you already know that these things are happening. Every month you already know these things are happening. If you don't know those, find out who your closest, your most important friends are, your kids' friends that they would actually go to birthday parties for, or whatever, those things may be, and just go on and plan those out. I know that every October I have 3 birthdays that are very important to me that happen, and I really need to make sure that me and my son are a part of those birthdays. So I have those already in my calendar. I know that more than likely they're going to do that either the week before or the week after their birthday. So generally I kind of schedule lightly on those Saturdays for those. that allows me to plan early on. And then I also know to ask those questions of my friends. All right, do you have something going on this day? Because I can't always go to events. So I'll generally have my grandmother or an assistant or someone take my son to those parties, or someone to deliver the gift for me, or whatever. But it just helps you to be ahead. And then even though those are more leisurely, you need those same things in business as well. The things that you know happen every single year, if it's a conference, a festival, whatever it may be, you need to already have those in your calendar, your actual Google and iPhone calendar. So when it comes time for you to plan your quarter and your year, you can do that ahead of time. There are no surprises. Also, tip number 6 is you need to use the holidays to organize your plans. So a lot of times we forget to plan our birthdays, we forget to plan the holidays, we forget to plan those things that happen consistently, and then come October, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up and get a costume for Halloween. Or come November, I gotta hurry up and figure out what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. Gotta hurry up and figure out what I'm doing for Christmas. And then New Year's a week later, and oh my gosh, da da da. So if you know these ahead of time, you know that you need to send Christmas cards to your clients, Christmas cards to your family. You need to send out advertisements for Black Friday. You can start preparing these things in October so that you're not having to rush and do them last minute for November. All right. So tip 7 is you need to use apps and services that automate your tasks. So you don't want to have to all the time go into your phone, go into your computer and have to do every single thing all the time. Every time you have to use your hands and your brain power to do something extra when you could have set that up automatically, you end up taking away time from a different task that you could have done to be helping your business. So you need to find the apps that are going to be most appropriate for keeping your things consistent, whether that's with Instagram, whether that's with Twitter, whether that's with Facebook, whether that's with your budget, your monthly expenses, your bills, whatever it may be, your savings, whatever it may be. You need to find the apps and whatever tools you can that can automate your processes. All right, so tip number 8 is you need to make your schedule as consistent as possible. This is kind of a piggyback off of my earlier tip where I was saying that you need to know what your overall goals are and then pick those things out and know what your consistent and inconsistent plans are. Once you know what your consistent and inconsistent plans are, you need to have as many consistent things as possible so that you don't always have to go back and look at your schedule. Eventually, you'll just know, okay, it's Monday, I do cleaning this day. Or, okay, it's Tuesday, I do this day. Okay, it's Wednesday, I do this day. If you have a very consistent schedule, and trust me, guys, I am an entrepreneur, so I know that it can get to be very, very, very inconsistent very, very often. But if you can make it as consistent as possible, you'll make the more inconsistent things less tasky, and it'll just be a lot easier for your day and your week and your month to flow. Tip number 9 is you need to batch what can be batched. So similar activities and tasks that can happen at one time or within a certain block of time, that's what I mean by batch. You're putting a lot of things that are similar in a certain block of time. If they can be done together or in that block, then you need to go on and get them done. For me, I try to get my YouTube videos done within a certain day. Or I try to get the research for them done within a certain day and a certain amount of hours. If I can get more videos done, then I don't have to go back and worry about that and stress about that like I had to do today because I had everything done. And so you need to batch what can be batched. So for me, if I have shoots that can be in similar areas or shoots that have similar days with similar type of clients, then generally I put them in the same place. Or if I have shoots that have similar editing, then generally I'll edit those at about the same time. And then that way I can do more of a copy paste and then go back and do the small touch-ups later. Whatever you can have done in one time, just go on and get that done in one time. If you have a cleaning lady who comes, but you know that you need to organize, maybe you can organize while she's cleaning, batch those two things together, be done with it all together at that time. And then that way your focus can be completely dedicated to something else later. And I found that whenever I batch things, it just makes things easier. And I can't batch on a consistent basis all the time because my brain just doesn't work like that. But I found that there are certain things that I can batch that when I do batch them, I end up being a lot more effective and just a lot more timely with those tasks. All right, so and that goes for cleaning, client shipments, all of those things. So if you have a product, you can batch when you ship out certain products and things like that. But this will just, and I'll have another video on batching and ways that you can batch to help your business. but this is just a small tip that'll help you to just figure out how you can get that month just tackled as quickly as possible. The 10th thing is that you need to have deadlines, you guys. Have deadlines, even though those deadlines may not necessarily be something that other people are imposing on you. You need to have those things for yourself so that you can actually get things done in an appropriate amount of time and not always be rushing and inconsistent and just chaotic all the time. You don't want your household or your business operating in chaos. 11, and this is my final tip, you need to learn to delegate certain tasks. So delegate things to your children. It can be cleaning, it can be putting up groceries, it can be separating laundry, whatever. Delegate different tasks to your spouse, same thing, to your assistant or intern, your house cleaner or a maid service, if that's taken away from your business, or a marketing team or any other team that you can get to actually help your business to move forward. You need to make sure that you are delegating the things that are taken away from the most important things that you have to do. But anyway, those are my 11 tips. Thank you for hanging around to the end of this video. I really do appreciate you guys for being so dedicated, and just thank you so much. Please, please, please help my algorithm out by commenting, liking, and subscribe. And as soon as you get the time, share this and just let me know how you feel. And if there's anything in this video that you want me to elaborate on, just let me know in the comments below. And then that way I can make a video about that to help you guys out. I'm trying to be as helpful and as fruitful as possible. So I hope that this does you some good. Ciao.